Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech. Good to see you guys again, and I'm here with another MIUI 12 video, and today I want to do a comparison of MIUI 12 versus Realme UI 1. Now before I go forward, this is not to start a fanboy war here between Redmi and Realme. I really want to just take a look at these two pieces of software, which are pretty awesome in their own right, but I do think are approaching things in a very different way. And I think a lot of what Xiaomi is offering here in MIUI 12 is the idea of form, of a beautiful form of an OS, taking precedence perhaps over the function of what an OS does, which I think Realme UI nails in many ways. Now that's not to say it's all looks and it's all functionality, but I do think we can just look through a number of the key areas of how these phones' UIs are different, and where I kind of think the form or kind of the beautiful aspects of MIUI 12 are beneficial to where I think the functionality and the cleaner, more utilitarian aspects of Realme UI are also important. So let's have a look. And starting here from the lock screen, and you can just see the beautiful aspect here of MIUI 12 with the gorgeous red planet Mars. And let's kind of jump in, and you see that giant animation going into the phone. And when I click in here with the fingerprint scanner, any animation? None whatsoever. Let's do that one more time here. 3, 2, 1. And you just see how much more was going on there with MIUI 12 to get into your phone versus Realme UI. It just jumps right in. Some of you would say that's faster and it's better, but it's also pretty utilitarian. It's not trying to be pretty, while MIUI is really taking you on a journey. And I do think that's kind of the story of the experience here. You have a lot more of a beautiful and a lot more of an elaborate experience on MIUI 12, whereas with Realme UI, you get to the home screen and that's it. Simple as that. And even from the icons, you can just tell that Realme UI is using a much more utilitarian type look. Very clean, very nice kind of UI, I would say overall. But all of the icons you can see, they're very 2D, they're very simplified, while I think there's a little bit more pizzazz and a little bit more color here to MIUI 12's icons. And that translates also to the app drawer. Now, one thing I want to dispel here is that there is an app drawer on MIUI 12. It's been there since MIUI 11. Here in home screen, you can actually adjust whether you want regular, which will be all your apps on the home screen, or you want to use an app drawer. And let's switch it now to app drawer. There we go, a completely different layout. But now similar to the Poco launcher, I have all these subsections here in MIUI 12, and I'm able to access all my applications without issue. Meanwhile, on Realme UI, let's see what that looks like. There we go. And here it'll show you a list of recently used apps, and then everything else in a nice alphabetical order. That is it, guys. Simple as that. And once again, Realme UI takes the more functional, kind of cleaner approach. Well, let's face it, MIUI 12 does not have app drawer set up as a default, and so I don't think that's the way Xiaomi wants people using the phone. And now let's look at the notification tray and the control center. And I think this is one area where Realme UI is really sticking more to the stock Android Oxygen OS type of control center. So here you would typically have your notifications, you swipe down then, and you have all your toggles all in one spot. You can swipe to the left and you can add more like so. Meanwhile, MIUI 12 is opting for a very iOS-like implementation here. So you swipe to the left, you will see your notifications. But if you swipe on the right, there you go. There's your new and expanded control center, which if you swipe down, you can now access all this stuff as well. This is a nice look, but I've already mentioned before, this has a very iOS feel to it, and there's a lot more transparency at play here. While this feels more just like a tray on Realme UI that you just swipe away, and that's it. And now I did get a number of messages from the previous video saying this can be turned off in settings, and this is how you do it. Notifications, you go to notification shade, you need to go to status bar, and then here in status bar is where you can adjust, use new control center on or off. And now that I've turned that off, let's go out. And boom, we are back in MIUI 11 the way it has been. And I know a lot of you guys are fans of this kind of look, but let me tell you, it was not easy for just the typical person to go and find this in settings. And I really do think that Xiaomi wants people to use the new control center. That is how they have it on as a default. And despite the fact that a lot of you guys are saying, yes, it can be changed, so it's a non-issue, it is not, guys. It is still not a default setting. Meanwhile, this is the way control center appears on Realme phones. And out of the box, this is a much cleaner and a much more intuitive interface. But one area where I think this form over function really helps MIUI 12 is in the system wallpapers. And that's not to say that we have some great wallpapers on Realme UI, but they're a little bit more, I guess I'm used to them a little bit more, but they're also not as impressive as all the new sections you have here for system wallpapers on MIUI 12. So first of all, let's go to the live wallpapers. And you can see a number here. They're very nice, and you can set those up. But man, the live wallpapers, or let's call them super wallpapers on MIUI 12, are so impressive and allow you to see kind of full vantages of the Earth or Mars. And even though they are a little bit disorienting, they're still absolutely stunning. But it's not just that, guys. The system wallpapers, nature patterns, for example, are just stunning wallpapers. Geometry and dynamic nebula, guys. But man, these nebula wallpapers from Xiaomi are absolutely stunning. And now, yes, I'm using these though on the China ROM version here of the Redmi K30 Pro, and a number of you have messaged saying you cannot find them on the global ROM versions. And yes, now I can confirm, guys, this is the global ROM wallpaper selection. And you're pretty much going to see on the global ROM all of the same static wallpapers that you see on the China ROM. But unfortunately, none of those dynamic nebula wallpapers, which are just so amazing. And that is a pity. But on the plus side, you do get the super wallpapers here on the global ROM version. And those are pretty epic as well. But I really do think Xiaomi nailed the wallpapers here on MIUI 12. They are a step above what you will find on Realme UI. And I just wanted to wrap up with some of the things that are different in settings, but some of the things that are also very similar. The bold text on MIUI 12 just looks so much nicer than this very kind of thin text we see on Realme UI. I love the new format they've done here, and it just pops. Once again, it's an aesthetic choice, but I think in this case, it actually is a functionality choice. It really makes it easier to read these settings versus the one you see on Realme UI. And both MIUI 12 and Realme UI now have improved privacy protections, so now enhanced measures for you to be able to protect what is on your phone. It's great to see both of these UI skins doing more to implement privacy on their platforms. And now we see additional dark mode features on both of these phones. If we go to dark mode, let's go ahead and turn it on MIUI 12 and Realme UI. But you see here, dark mode for third-party apps is in beta on Realme UI 1, but now Xiaomi has implemented it as well. So both of these are capable of being able to turn dark mode on specific apps, and that is a welcome sight. But MIUI 12 is going a step further, adjusting the contrast automatically, so helping adjust the colors and reduce eye strain is an additional thing that I think MIUI 12 here has the advantage over Realme UI. And here you see the battery and performance settings, and this is the big one here on MIUI 12, Ultra Battery Saver, whereas on Realme UI we do have Smart Power Saver, but we don't have anything beyond that. And I can't wait to see an Ultra Battery Saver type mode here on Realme UI, because that is a big deal. I think this is one of the big ways that you can manage battery if you're very low like I am right now at 17 or 16%, but when you're done, you just press exit here and you're back to your phone. Now overall, guys, there's a lot to like about both of these UIs, and there's way too many features that these UIs offer. I can't get into full details on each single one, but I hope this serves as an overview for you guys to see what MIUI 12 is looking like next to Realme UI, which has been a great update here for this Realme X2 Pro. It's working very nicely with this software. Moving more towards an Oxygen OS or more stock-like Android interface, I think does help speed things up on this phone. Meanwhile, MIUI 12 is all about the form, so just a more elaborate, more done up, and just kind of prettier interface. These wallpapers are gorgeous, and some people won't like that bubbly look to the control center, the transparency involved here, but I, for one, think a lot of you will like it, and a lot of you will keep it on, despite thinking that it looks more like iOS. Sure, the animations take longer to get in on this phone, and everything feels just a little bit more done up on MIUI 12. But I think a lot of you guys out there do appreciate the embellishments that you see on MIUI 12 versus the very utilitarian interface on Realme UI. So form over function. There are benefits to both, and there are cons to both. And depending on your tastes, you may love one and you may hate the other, or vice versa. But the reality is, guys, both MIUI 12 and Realme UI are offering terrific UI skins here in 2020, and I can't wait to see how they evolve from here. But hit me up in the comments and let's keep it civil here, guys. Are you more a form or a function person? Do you like the elaborate nature of MIUI 12, or do you like the simple and straightforward utilitarian nature of Realme UI? Hit me up in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. And that's it for this video. If you liked it, give me that thumbs up. And if you love the content of Frankie Tech, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for future updates. Either way, guys, you can't go wrong, and both of these UI skins just keep making these phones even better. And I hope you enjoyed this video. This is where I leave you by saying, this is Frankie Tech, signing off. Have a good one.